Hello, high level listeners. Welcome to a brand new advanced English vocabulary class. Have you been shopping lately? Are you on a budget or do you like to splurge a little? What was the last thing you bought? In today's episode, we're going to tell you how to answer all of these questions fluently and confidently so you can feel good talking about going shopping for clothes and trying them on.
Yes, that's right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to High Level Listening. It's our channel where we give you side-by-side British and American English to take your English to the next level. I'm Mark. I'm from the UK. And together with Kat from the US, today we're going to talk about going shopping for clothes and trying some of them on.
Like usual, in our advanced vocabulary podcast series, we'll each read a short script about our experience going shopping. Mine might feature some words and expressions more commonly used in the US, while Mark's will be more typical of a Brit. Afterwards, we'll go through our scripts line by line, and we'll explain all the best vocabulary and phrases to help you talk about your own shopping trips.
Before we begin, a quick reminder, we always put subtitles or captions on all of our videos, but if you would like a PDF transcript of this episode as a downloadable file that you can take offline and study on your own, you can join us as a High Level Listening member. There are details about how to do that in the description below. So let's get into our scripts. I will ask Kat today's question. Have you been shopping lately?
So, I went to do a little window shopping the other day. I know, I'm supposed to be on a budget, but I just like to have a look sometimes. Anyway, I was just looking around, looking at the cute window displays, and not really finding anything I liked anyway, until, of course, I went to one of my favorite shops, this little boutique in a quieter section of the mall. So I'm browsing. I already told the salesperson that I was browsing, and guess what she did? She pointed me right in the direction of their annual 50% off sale. Well, I couldn't not go have a look. I ended up grabbing 2 or 3 things and trying them on in the fitting rooms. Thankfully, 2 of them didn't really fit right. One was too big and the other wasn't really my color, but one fit just right and was honestly the perfect summer dress. So I decided to splurge a little. I went over to the cashier, put it on the credit card, and I went home before I could spend any more money. All right, so I'll ask Mark the same question. Mark, have you been shopping lately?
The other day, I was walking down the high street and saw these big signs in the windows saying clearance sale 80% off. I don't normally buy clothes that often, but that sounded like a proper bargain, so I poked my head in just for a look around. I started going through some of the racks and I ended up finding some shirts that I quite liked. Not too flashy, stuff I could wear at home or out and about. I picked out a few and went to the fitting rooms to see how they would look on me. The first one was way too tight. I couldn't even lift my arms. The second one was a bit baggy, but the third one was really comfortable and a nice fit too. I actually had an old loyalty card in my wallet, which came in handy when I paid. It was a little impromptu visit that went really well and didn't cost me an arm and a leg. Okay, so now we've read both our scripts. Let's go back to the start and go through them line by line, explaining all the best vocabulary and phrases. So back to the start of your script. Kat, have you gone shopping recently?
So I went to do a little window shopping the other day. I know, I'm supposed to be on a budget, but I just like to have a little look. So I went to do a little window shopping. Now, this can be dangerous because you're in the mall, you're looking around, but you don't really want to buy anything. So we call this window shopping. Window shopping. And it's when you just look at things. But ideally, you wouldn't want to buy anything if you're just window shopping. Now, each store usually has a display or a window where they put some of their cutest outfits or their nicest outfits out front. So you can look at the outfit, see how it might look on the mannequin, and that's the display. That's the window. That's the window for the window shopping. So we're not actually shopping for windows. We're just looking at the outfits on the other side of the window. Look, don't touch, right? So I went to do a little window shopping the other day. The other day could be yesterday, 2 days ago, even kind of last week, the other day, something fairly recently in the past. I know, I'm supposed to be on a budget, but I just like to have a little look. I know. So I know I'm supposed to be on a budget. You told me I'm supposed to be on a budget. I know. Okay, I know. I know. I'm supposed to be on a budget. If you are supposed to do something, you should do something. There are two options. One of them is better for you. You are supposed to be on a budget. If your choices are spend money or be on a budget and save money, you're supposed to be on a budget. But I just like to have a little look. Just what if something just a little look, just a little look. All right? So, I know, I'm supposed to be on a budget, saving money, but I just like to have a little look. What about you, Mark? Have you gone shopping recently?
The other day, I was walking down the high street and saw these big signs in the windows saying clearance sale, 80% off. I don't normally buy clothes that often, but that sounded like a proper bargain, so I poked my head in just for a look around. So, I was just walking down the high street. I'm from the UK. Most city centres or town centres have one main road, and that's called the high street. Often the high street has restaurants or shops, especially clothes shops and pubs, of course. But it's the main centre, a main commercial centre. There's lots of things to buy and see on the high street. I also used the other day, like cat. So the other day, I was walking down the high street and I saw these big signs in the windows saying clearance sale, 80% off. Similar to cat, okay, windows are the front windows of the store, and that's often where they advertise sales and discounts. So big signs in the windows of the shops saying clearance sale. Maybe a shop is trying to get rid of all its old clothes. Maybe we're changing season, winter, into spring, and the shop has all these winter clothes that people don't need. So they'll have something called a clearance sale to clear their stock and clear out all the clothes. And sometimes this is a chance for really big discounts, like 80% off. 80% off is a huge discount. I don't normally buy clothes that often, but that sounded like a proper bargain. 80% off is a proper bargain. That is a big discount. That is much, much cheaper than it usually is. In the UK, you will hear a proper bargain. It was proper fun, or it was properly great. I'm using a proper bargain, a big bargain. So, even though I don't normally buy clothes, this was such a proper bargain, I poked my head in just for a look around. So I wanted to look quickly. I didn't want to spend a lot of time there. I poked my head in. Literally, physically, I went into the shop. But as a phrase, I had a quick look. I poked my head in. So I looked into the shop and I didn't want to spend much time there. So that's my answer. I was kind of surprised. It was a surprise to see such a bargain when I was walking down the high street. So, in your case, Kat, did you see anything that you liked in the store?
So I was just looking around, looking at the cute window displays, and not really finding anything I liked anyway, until, of course, I went to one of my favorite shops, this little boutique in a quieter section of the mall. So I was just looking around. Sometimes when a salesperson comes up to you and says, "Can I help you with anything?" "Oh, just looking around, thanks." Or "Just browsing, thanks." This is an easy way to say, "I don't need help right now. I'm just having fun looking at the clothes. Just looking around, just browsing. Thanks. So I was just looking around over here, looking around, looking at, looking at the cute window displays and not really finding anything I liked anyway. So, not really finding anything I liked anyway. Sometimes you just like the experience of going around from shop to shop. Just, yeah, that's okay. Sure, that's fine. Not really my color. Oh, that's kind of cute. Not really my style. So I'm not really finding anything I like. Not really. No, it's okay. Not really finding anything I liked anyway. Until, of course, so up until the moment I went to one of my favorite shops, this little boutique in a quieter section of the mall. So I went to one of my favorite shops. I went to one of my favorite stores. Now I'm describing what the store is. This little boutique, this little shop, this tiny little thing, this little boutique. A boutique is usually a very small store that has very unique and interesting items, not just going to one of the big stores that has pretty much the same thing every time you go into the store. This was a little boutique in a quieter section of the mall. Now, Mark has the high street in the UK, whereas in America, we usually go to the shopping malls. Okay, so shopping malls are really popular in the United States, and we just shorten it to mall. I think sometimes in textbooks we see commercial center. We call them shopping malls. Shopping malls. You can get pretty much anything you need. Go clothes shopping. You can get food. You can buy even furniture and things like that. These would be at the shopping malls. Now, what about you, Mark? I know that you poked your head in to have a look at the clearance sale. Did you see anything you liked?
I started going through some of the racks, and I ended up finding some shirts that I quite liked. Not too flashy, stuff I could wear at home or out and about. The first word, the racks. The racks. Often clothes shops put all their shirts and items on racks, that long metal bar, that long metal pole, and there's shirts and shirts and shirts and shirts and shirts close together. When you want to look through them, I could go through them. So next one, next, nope, nope, maybe, no, oh. So you go through the clothes. I go through the racks. Be racks of shirts, racks of jeans, whatever. So I started going through some of the racks, and I ended up finding some shirts that I quite liked. When you're surprised or you do something that wasn't your original plan, I ended up. So I went into the shop. I didn't know what was in there. I didn't know what to expect. And surprisingly, I ended up finding some shirts. This is a surprise. I didn't know I would find them. But fortunately, I ended up finding some shirts that I quite liked. The reason I liked them? Not too flashy. Flashy could be bright or extravagant. I often find a lot of shirts in H&M or Zara, and on the front they have some giant picture, a big graphic, or they have some kind of fancy decorations or accessories, and I don't like that style. That is flashy. That's like, I want people to look at me, or I want to show off my clothes, and I don't like that either. So it was not too flashy. It was maybe a plain shirt without a lot of bright colors, kind of like the one I'm wearing right now. It's not too flashy. The reason I like these clothes is it's stuff I could wear at home or out and about. I like versatile shirts. I can wear it at home or out and about. Out and about could be at the supermarket, seeing my friends, going to a restaurant, out and about, being outside. So not too flashy, stuff I could wear at home or out and about. So in your little shopping experience. Was there anything good that you found?
So I'm browsing. I already told the salesperson that I was just browsing. Okay, remember, I'm supposed to be on a budget, right? I'm supposed to be on a budget. And guess what she did? She pointed me right in the direction of their annual 50% off sale. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So I'm browsing. This is a really good storytelling technique. I'm sort of taking you back to my experience and I'm putting it in the present. Okay, so I'm browsing. It's kind of like it's happening right now. This is a fun storytelling technique in English where you kind of take the person who's listening and we kind of come into the present. Okay, so I'm browsing. I already told the salesperson that I was just browsing, and guess what she did? She pointed me right in the direction of their annual 50% off sale. So we could say the salesman or the saleswoman, but I think it's more common nowadays to just say the salesperson or the sales assistant. This is the person who helps you in the store. Just browsing. Browsing, just like Mark was going through the racks, browsing is looking through. Browsing could be looking around. Browsing is just looking. I'm not sure what I want, just looking around. I'm just browsing. And guess what she did? So now we know that the salesperson is a woman because I said, and guess what she did? She pointed me right in the direction of their annual 50% off sale. So when you point someone, you show them, you let them know, oh, by the way, we're having our annual 50% off sale. All of the items are right over here. And I said, wait, what? Really? 50% off sale, you say? Okay. So an annual sale, AN, would be for the word year. Is there yearly or annual 50% off sale? So, I mean, I had to go look, right? I had to go look. What about for you, Mark? I know that you looked through all of those racks. Was there anything good?
I picked out a few and went to the fitting rooms to see how they looked on me. So, yes, I went through the racks, and when I finally choose one that I like, I take it off the rack. I picked out. I picked out a shirt. I picked out some jeans. I picked out some nice sunglasses. That means I choose this one. And the next step is to try it on. The best way to try it on is go to the fitting rooms. These have a few different names in the UK. The fitting rooms is one. The changing rooms, the dressing rooms. I've seen all three in different shops, but I think the most general one is the fitting rooms. You can ask a sales assistant or a salesperson, where are the fitting rooms? Oh, thank you. So I picked out a few and went to the fitting rooms to see how they looked on me. I use looked because that's the collocation with clothes. It looks good. It looked good. If you want someone else's opinion, you're like, how does it look? How do I look? So I wanted to see how they looked on me. The clothes are on my body. The shirt is on me. I want to see how they looked. So the salesperson was very, very clever. She pointed you towards the sales items. Did you go and have a look?
Well, I couldn't not go have a look. I ended up grabbing 2 or 3 things and trying them on in the fitting rooms. So I couldn't not go have a look. This is kind of a funny way that we break a grammar rule. Normally in English, we don't like to have not and no in the same sentence. They start to cancel each other out, and it gets a little confusing. But when we use this phrase, well, I couldn't not go have a look, it would be rude. So it does cancel it out, meaning I had to go look. I wanted to go look. So this is just a funny way to say, oh, I couldn't not do it. Oh, if I didn't do it, the salesperson would think I was rude. I couldn't not do it. So I couldn't not go have a look. I ended up grabbing. Okay, so, oh, that's nice. Oh, okay, that's nice. I ended up, just like Mark did, I remember I'm on a budget. It was a silly idea for me to go to the mall anyway, but I wasn't expecting a sale. So I ended up, just like Mark said, when we think it's going one way and it changes. Well, I came in just looking. Oh, but I ended up grabbing a few things. Ooh, surprise, surprise. So I ended up grabbing 2 or 3 things and trying them on in the fitting rooms. Just like Mark said, we do have different words for them. You're right, I haven't really heard the other terms in a while. Changing rooms actually has become more popular for babies if they need to have their diapers changed. We call it a changing area or a changing room. But you're right, we used to change our clothes in a changing area, but I think it's just more common for babies now. And then we do have dressing rooms as well. So I would say fitting rooms, dressing rooms as well in the United States. So I grabbed those 2 or 3 things and I tried them on. I tried them on. Okay. So if you try something on, that's usually that you put the clothes on, you see how it looks. If you like it, you buy it. If you don't, well, that's okay. So you can try it on. So we put it on, see if it fits, then take it off and put on your other clothes. Okay, so Mark, did everything fit for you?
The first one was way too tight. I couldn't lift my arms. The second one was a bit baggy, but the third one was really comfortable and a nice fit too. So I had a sort of Goldilocks moment. The first two were not good. The third one was good. The first one was way too tight. So maybe the shirt was too small, or maybe it was the wrong size. It was difficult to move my arms. I couldn't lift my arms. If it's too tight, it's too small, and it's uncomfortable. I can't move freely. You can also say the same thing for trousers, jeans, or a belt. If it's too tight, you can't breathe, or maybe it hurts your stomach. So when clothing is too small, we often say it's too tight. The second one was the opposite problem. It was too big. The word I used was baggy. Baggy. Baggy means it's very loose. It comes away from my body. Maybe it makes my body look very wide, or maybe it's too big, so it hangs and it's loose. And again, maybe it's comfortable, but it doesn't look very nice if it's too far away from your body. You look like a Lego man. It's too loose. So the second one was a bit baggy, but the third one was really comfortable and a nice fit too. A nice fit. I'm using fit as a noun there. It was a nice fit. It was a comfortable fit. It was a perfect fit. So you can use a fit as a noun, and that means that it kind of followed the shape of my body. It wasn't too tight and it wasn't too baggy. It was perfect. It fit my body and it fit my form, my figure. It was a nice fit. How about yourself, Kat? Did everything you pick out fit?
2 of them didn't really fit right. One was too big and the other wasn't really my color, but one fit just right and was honestly the perfect summer dress. So I started with thankfully, 2 of them didn't really fit right. Why am I saying thankfully? Again, I'm on a budget. I'm really not supposed to be shopping like this. So thankfully, 2 of them didn't really fit right. Didn't really fit right. Now, this could be any number of reasons. Maybe it's too small. Maybe it's too big. Maybe it just doesn't sit right on you. If something doesn't sit right, then maybe it's tight in the shoulders, or when you zip it, it feels a little uncomfortable. It's not sitting right. It's not sitting right. So it didn't really fit right. RIGHT didn't fit correctly, didn't fit in the way it's supposed to. Very simply, especially in American English, and I think Mark said it too, or you might have, it didn't fit right. It just didn't fit right. One was too big, and the other wasn't really my color. If something isn't really your color, maybe it just doesn't go with your skin tone, it doesn't go with your hair color, it's not really my color. Maybe I don't look very good in bright yellow, but I grabbed something bright yellow, I tried it on, and I said, oh, wow, that's not really my color. That's not really my color. But then one fit just right, like Mark said with Goldilocks. One's too hot, one's too cold, one's just right. Okay, so just right means the perfect fit, just right. And was honestly the perfect summer dress. Now, I'm trying to justify or give a good reason for breaking my budget today. One fit just right, and it was honestly the perfect summer dress. So maybe I should buy it. All right. What about you, Mark? Did you end up buying anything?
I did. I had an old loyalty card in my wallet, which came in handy when I paid. It was an impromptu little visit that went really well and didn't cost me an arm and a leg. So, in short, I bought the shirt, just one shirt. When I went to the cashier or I went to the checkout, in my wallet was an old loyalty card. Many chains or franchises have this. If you buy things, you earn points. And eventually, if you build up enough points, you can get a further discount or some special offers. They also enter you in prizes and things. I had an old loyalty card. Old, maybe I forgot that I had it, or maybe I got it a few years ago. And sometimes the checkout cashier asks, do you have a loyalty card? You say, oh, actually, maybe I do. And in the back deep pockets, you find an old dusty card. That came in handy. Handy is another word for useful. We often use the phrase came in handy. It was useful. So if it starts raining and my umbrella came in handy, or if my phone runs out of battery, I have a backup charger that came in handy. That was useful and convenient. Again, my trip to the clothes shop here was not planned. I ended up going in and I ended up finding some nice clothes, but it was spontaneous. The word I used was impromptu. 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 This means spontaneous. It was a spontaneous decision. I saw the clearance sign. I was like, ooh, what's that? And I just suddenly decided to change what I was doing. It was an impromptu little visit. Little because I didn't spend a lot of time. It was an impromptu little visit that went really well and didn't cost me an arm and a leg. This is a really popular idiom. It's a little bit of a cliche, but I'm going to use it here. It didn't cost me a lot of money. I didn't spend lots of money. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg. To be honest, I think this is the only way that I use this phrase. It didn't cost me. I don't know why, but I will only use this in the negative. That's the only way I feel like comfortable using it. Otherwise, it sounds a bit cliche. But it was not expensive. It was 80% off. It was just a t-shirt. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg. So overall, a happy experience. So what about you, Kat? Did you end up buying the things you liked?
So I decided to splurge a little. I went over to the cashier, put it on the credit card, and went home before I could spend any more money. Now, I did really like the fit. of my perfect summer dress. So I decided to splurge a little. Now, at the beginning, I said I'm on a budget. I'm on a budget. Maybe I'm not really supposed to spend money. Maybe I'm supposed to be saving some money. But then, if you find something you really, really like, or if you find something and it's more money than you expected, it's time to splurge. Okay, so to splurge is to decide to spend more money on something. Maybe it's better value. Maybe it's just a wonderful little item that will make you really happy. Maybe it's something luxurious or something very special or unique. This is when you might decide to splurge, which means to spend more money than you should. Okay. So I went over to the cashier, put it on the credit card, and went home before I could spend any more money. I went over to the cashier. Now, at this point, this place was so small, I think the salesperson was also the cashier, but the cashier is also the place where you pay. Okay, so I went over to the cashier, went over across the store, went over to the cashier, put it on the credit card. Now, for Americans, our credit cards work very different than most people, but our credit card, I can buy it now, pay for it next month. So I decided to splurge a little bit. Americans love to splurge. Even if we don't have the money today, we can put it on the credit card and pay for it next month. So I put it on the credit card, put it on the credit card, which means I paid for it with my credit card. Put it on my credit card, please. Put it on my card. And then I went home before I could spend any more money because I really shouldn't be at the store anyway.
Okay, so there you go. That's the end of our scripts. That's us for today. There's lots of great vocabulary and phrases for you to talk about buying clothes or shopping around for clothes and your shopping experiences in general. Like always, we read and reply to every comment. So if you want to tell us your stories about your daily life, why not try and answer these questions in the comments below and use some of the vocabulary you've seen in this episode, like, have you been shopping lately? Are you on a budget? Or do you like to splurge a little bit? And what was the last thing you bought?
Yes, thank you so much. We love to see your examples and your experience, so let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.